All right, let's go back to our top story on International Solar Alliance. Let's dive deeper into what is the International Solar Alliance and what are its objectives. So the ISA is a collaborative initiative between India and France aimed at uniting efforts to combat climate change by implementing solar energy solutions, and it was conceptualized on the sidelines of COP21 in Paris in 2015. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the architect of the initiative. Following a 2020 amendment to its framework agreement, all UN member states are now eligible to join the alliance. India has consistently held the position of ISA president. Currently, 100+ countries are signatories, with 90+ countries having ratified to become full members. So 9 programs across 53 member countries. ISA is helping ease solar deployment. Its mission is to unlock $1 trillion in solar investments by 2030 while reducing technology and financing cost. This ambitious plan aims to provide energy access to 1 billion people and install 1,000 gigawatt of solar energy capacity. This would significantly mitigate global carbon emissions, reducing 1,000 million tons of CO2 annually. ISA works with government to improve energy access and security worldwide and promote solar power as a sustainable transition to a carbon-neutral future. India achieved 50% of its total installed electricity generation capacity from non-fossil fuel sources 5 years ago, ahead of its target of 2030. All right, so for more insights, we are joined by Ashish Khanna, who is Director General of International Solar Alliance. Welcome, Mr. Khanna. I appreciate you giving us your precious time. President delivered the keynote address today, the first ever presidential address to the ISA, and the President calls for collective action to ensure affordable and accessible solar energy for all. So India, once again, shines at the heart of the global solar movement.
Thank you so much. It's I must say that it is a shining moment, because 125 countries have become members of Global South's largest multilateral institution. And it happens at a time when it took 25 years to do first 1,000 gigawatt, just 2 years to double it, and will get further doubled in another 4 years, where Asia will be leading 70%. So the world is going to look at Asia Pacific with ISA as a convening member to take forward this, where, as you would have already seen, we have achieved 2,000 gigawatt targets, much beyond our original ambition of 1,000 gigawatt. And there's going to be further doubling of 4,500 gigawatt. Countries like Africa and SIDS, unfortunately, are still not getting enough benefits, and we are launching different programs in assembly for that effect.
Also, Mr. Khanna, the International Solar Alliance, like you said, began as an India-France initiative. It has evolved certainly with over 120 countries participating, 125 you said. What does this level of global engagement say about the world's commitment to solar energy?
So you see, what is really happening in the world right now is economics is driving energy security. For all our 125 countries, solar together with storage today offers some of the cheapest options to get energy as essential artery of economic growth. No nation in the history has grown without enough sustainable and affordable energy. Countries in Africa, unfortunately, still have 70 crore or 700 million people without energy access. So for all of them, solar energy will become one of the most important instruments for this empowerment.
Mr. Khanna, also, I mean, you're the best person to answer this question. How does India's leadership in solar deployment influence other developing nations looking to transition to clean energy?
So first of all, India has become the world's third largest solar producer. That is inspiring a lot of awe. Second, India is doing very bold experiments on certain important elements on distributed renewable energy, like replacement of 4 million solar pump program and having 10 million households get solar rooftop. The world is looking at how can such programs be replicated. Also, India has some of the lowest bids for either green hydrogen or solar cum storage projects. And finally, India is also going to boast of a lot of manufacturing, whether it is solar pumps or solar cells and modules and e-mobility. And the world is eagerly looking how they can tap into such excellence.
Also, Mr. Khanna, what kind of innovations are emerging in the solar sector, particular in the areas like agriculture, healthcare and rural electrification that can drive sustainable development?
So that's a very good question. Let me talk about two examples. One is solar pumps.
Okay.
Only 4% of Africa arable land is irrigated. So the president of Ghana and Prime Minister of Ethiopia told me that the biggest problem is agriculture, and biggest problem in agriculture is energy because they don't have any irrigation, and $400 billion of food imports because they never had India's green revolution. So they are really looking for how can solar pumps and the innovative business models on how solar pumps can be adopted in different value chains of wheat, coffee, all of that can be taken in Africa. So that's one part of innovation. The second innovation, I will say, is on finance. Most of Africa, in spite of having enormous capability on terms of solar radiation, is not able to attract private sector finance. So we are initiating an Africa Solar Facility to mitigate the risk of private sector to start investing in Africa.
Mr. Khanna, yes, but how can you think global partnership through ISA accelerate innovation while also ensuring that no region or country is left behind?
So on that, we have a lot of global thought leadership.
Okay.
And we believe that a lot of new technologies would require collaboration. For example, while we are talking, there is a launch of a facility called Sunrise, which is about solar PV waste and battery recycling. Imagine 10 to 15 years from now, if 25 gigawatts that India has been doing every year can be available for recycling, and 90% of that in terms of cobalt, nickel can be recycled back, that can solve a lot of India's critical mineral challenge. This is actually true for innovation across all 124 countries. So our role is to bring all these business models for recycling, also one sun, one world, one grid, that requires a lot of innovation on connecting continents through undersea cables. All of them will usher in a huge energy security and affordability and a lot of jobs.
Absolutely. We'll leave it at that. Mr. Khanna, thank you for your wonderful insights.
Thank you so much for having me.